Let's see how to light this fireproof balloon.
Oh, hi, Uncle Ed.
Hi.
Hi. Are you doing a science show with that goggles?
Hi, Auntie Tammy and families at home. I was watching a science show with Timothy this afternoon, so I wanted to do the same experiment here, just to show you. It's very cool. It's like magic. See? Now, here I have a special balloon. It's filled with water, and when I light this balloon up, the balloon actually wouldn't break. Do you know why?
Wow. That is very interesting, Uncle Ed. But why would it not break?
Well, let me explain it to you. It's because the water inside will absorb all the heat from the flame, so the rubber does not get very hot. Therefore, the balloon does not break. Ha! I am so good at explaining this, I feel like I should teach science to little monkeys one day.
Oh, wow. Bravo, Uncle Ed. I think you can make a good science teacher.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, did you try to see if this would actually work?
Well, of course not. Remember, I'm scared of fire. What if I light up the lighter, but instead of burning the balloon, it burns me instead? I don't want to be a barbecue monkey.
Oh, but if you cannot do the demo, how do you teach the little ones?
Oh.
Oh, by the way, kids at home, do not do this experiment or play with the lighter. This lighter is dangerous and only adults should touch it. Otherwise, you can injure yourself or set off a fire.
Yes. Please don't try this at home. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. Now, by the way, Uncle Ed, did you forget something? Aren't we going to tell the families a Bible story today?
Right. Well, you see, the story we're going to talk about speaks of a miraculous sign that God has allowed Elijah, a prophet, to perform. It's even cooler than this science experiment I was telling you about. Well, just to tell you a little more science here, in order for something to burn, you need fuel, oxygen, and heat. Elijah had the fuel to be burned, and there was oxygen, but there was no heat. But God still allowed a fire to burn up something that was completely soaked with water. Well, how can that be?
Wow, that's amazing. Lighting something up without heat? Let's see how God used this miracle Elijah performed to let the people know that He is the one true God.
Yeah. Today we'll continue to read from the book of Heroes of the Bible Treasury by Sonder Kids. The pictures were illustrated by David Miles. Elijah lived in Israel, the promised land that God gave to the Jews. Elijah was a prophet. He was a messenger from God, but people did not always listen. At that time, Ahab the king did not pray to the true God. He prayed to a god called Baal. So did many other Jews. Elijah made an announcement. He said, "There will be no more rain in Israel until I say so. God is not happy with you." What Elijah said came true. The streams dried up. Plants could not grow. People were hungry and thirsty. But God took care of Elijah. God showed Elijah a stream. God sent ravens to bring Elijah bread and meat. One day, Elijah saw a woman gathering sticks. He asked, "Would you bring me some bread?" The woman said, "I have no bread. I only have a little flour and oil. When this is gone, my son and I will die." Elijah told the woman, "Go home and bake some bread. You will not run out of flour or oil." The woman did as Elijah said. No matter how much oil or flour she used, the woman did not run out. God provided food for Elijah, the woman, and her son. But King Ahab was very angry. He wanted Elijah to make it rain again. God told Elijah to go meet King Ahab. When Ahab saw Elijah, he said, "You have brought trouble." But Elijah said, "You have caused the trouble. You pray to Baal. You do not pray to the true God." Then Elijah said, "Call all the prophets of Baal and all the people of Israel. Have them meet me on Mount Carmel." Elijah stood before the people. He said, "How long will you go back and forth? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him." The people said nothing. Then Elijah said, "Let's see who the real God is. Let's have a contest." Elijah said, "Let's put wood on 2 altars. One altar is for your god Baal. The other is for my God. We will each call on our God. The God who sends fire to the wood is the true God." The people liked this idea. The prophets of Baal went first. They put a bow on the altar. They danced around and shouted the name of Baal from morning to noon. In the afternoon, Elijah said, "Maybe your God is sleeping. Maybe he's busy. Shout louder." So the prophets of Baal shouted louder.
Uncle Ed, are you asleep? Oh no! Kids, let's wake up Uncle Ed together. 1, 2, 3. Wake up, Uncle Ed!
Whoa. What's with all that screaming? What's going on?
Actually, there was no screaming.
No?
Just you snoring, Uncle Ed.
Ow.
Did you fall asleep again, Uncle Ed?
Well, I guess I did. Well, I have a good reason this time.
What is
Those prophets of Baal talked too long to call on him, and I was getting too tired waiting for them.
Oh, yeah, of course. Baal is not real, and their sacrifice did not get lit up.
Right.
How about let's see what happens when Elijah called onto the one and only God?
Yeah. The prophets of Baal shouted all day, but no one answered. Then Elijah said to the people, "Come with me." Elijah stood before the Lord's altar, which had been torn down. He used 12 stones to fix it. He put wood and a bow on it. He dug a trench around it. Then Elijah told some men, "Pour 4 jars of water on the wood." They poured water on the altar. Elijah said, "Do it 2 more times." Soon the wood was very wet. Water ran down the altar and even filled the trench. Everyone wondered how the altar would burn. Elijah stepped forward and prayed. He said, "Lord, you are the true God, and I am your servant. Answer me so everyone will know who you are." Fire came down from heaven. It burned up the wood and the stones. It burned up the bowl and the soil. It even dried the water in the trench. When the people saw this, they fell to their knees. The people cried, "The Lord is God!" Soon after that, God sent rain. The people could grow food and find water again.
Hey, Uncle Ed! We're
Uh-oh.
back! What are you doing?
Oh, I figured out a way to solve my problem with this balloon. Now, if I can just order the balloon to burn like Elijah ordered his sacrifice to burn, I wouldn't need to get anywhere near a lighter and burn myself.
Oh, Uncle Ed, you are just so silly.
Oh.
Elijah was performing a miracle to show the Israelites who the true God is.
Right.
And God answered his prayer.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to light up a balloon just because you're scared of fire and want to light it up from a distance.
Oh. Well, I guess you're right. Well, anyway, kids, this is the story of Elijah at the altar where God used him to perform a miracle that shows God's power and who God is.
Wow, it is amazing what God can do and that the Lord is the one true God.
Yes. And Elijah's trust in God is something that we all can learn from. He did as God commanded him, even though so many people have already forgotten about God and did not want to worship him. Elijah held on to his knowledge that the Lord is the only God who rules the world. This is what Elijah said from 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 15. "I serve the Lord who rules over all. You can be sure that he lives."
Yes, and we can continue to trust in God during difficult times by knowing who God is. And you know God better by reading the Bible every day and praying every day.
Yeah. We may not witness an amazing miracle like the Israelites did in Elijah's time, but this event, along with many other miracles, are recorded in the Bible. Now, just like John the Apostle said, these miracles are recorded so you may believe.
And today's Bible verse is, all the people saw it. Then they fell down flat with their faces towards the ground. They cried out, "The Lord is the one and only God. The Lord is the one and only God." 1 Kings 18:39.
Well, that's it for now. But before we go, we have a question from one of our viewers. And his name is Jake. Let's see what Jake wonders about today.
Hello, Uncle Ed. My question is, how does God know what we're going to do next?
Well, Jake, that is an excellent question. I cannot say I can tell you how God knows what we are going to do next, only that He does know. Now, in the book of 1 Chronicles 28, when King David was giving advice to his son Solomon, David said, "For the Lord searches every heart and understands every desire and every thought." Now, King David is said to be a king that followed God's heart. So I'm sure he knows God better than most of us. If David knows that God understands every thought of all of us, then I'm sure he knows every action we're planning to do. King David also tells Solomon that if you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will reject you forever. That's from 1 Chronicles chapter 28, 9b. Now, I think God has given us a choice to follow him or to not follow him. If we follow him, he will be with us to protect us. But if we don't, he won't force us to follow. But a life without God is not going to be a good life at all. Well, I hope this answers your question and will encourage you to follow God even more. Well, kids, if you have other questions, keep sending them to us. We would love to hear from you. Bye-bye.
Bye.